space to just talk a little bit more about what made you first want to start traveling and a nomadic lifestyle.
I was traveling since my childhood. At the beginning, we were going to Egypt, to Turkey, and like these 5-star hotels. And after that, they divorced, and I started to go even more traveling because either my mom or my dad, they wanted to spend time with me. And it was good times. So I was like traveling a lot and in really interesting places. And I moved to Serbia alone. And I realized that I can travel and it's so cheap from here. So I can go with like 25 euro to, I don't know, Rome. And it's anywhere you want. And then when I gained followers, they started texting me like, come here, come to Paris to my apartment to stay with me a few days. And I was like, wow, that's it. I can just go and visit my friends. That's how I started to full-time travel.
What was it that you were telling yourself traveling on your own? How were you able to step past that fear?
I mean, of being alone, I don't think I ever had a fear. Like, I was growing up in with my mom and my dog. So my mom was working 24/7 and I was just with my dog alone. Every day we were like eating together, watching something. That's it. And so then when I moved to another country, I realized that it's actually pretty easy. But I had like this huge social anxiety. I was terrified to go to coffee shops. I was like prisoner of my own mind. And when I started traveling, my first trip from Serbia was to Paris because I was heartbroken. I was like, that's it. I'm going to go to Paris. And so I went there and I was couchsurfing. And actually that was really fun. So like for 7 days I would put my host and then I went to the hostel where I didn't talk to anyone because I was too terrified. And after that, like step by step, and it's easier and easier for you to communicate with the world. Volunteering helped me a lot because you stuck with those people, so you have to talk to them. And it helped me a lot because now I'm more open, I think. I can talk to people on the street, coffee shops, and everywhere. So yes, and maybe Tinder helped me as well. I won't lie. Thank you.
A little plug for Tinder here.
Yes.
What volunteering were you doing?
I was doing housekeeping and in some hostels. I went to the festivals and it was like techno festivals, so I didn't like them, but I was volunteering. It was fun. And my last one was in Istanbul. I was doing social media. So it's basically like I was doing the same things I do every single day. I was just recording everything and that's it. That was my whole job.
That
was really nice.
How did you find that? How do you find these opportunities?
I mean, about festivals, you can find something on Instagram. Like, you're just checking on Instagram some new festivals during summer and you text them, can I volunteer? And most of the time, like 99%, they would say yes. Because they need someone to work for free. And then all of this like housekeeping and social media, it's with World Packers. So you just apply on a program that you like and that's it, you go there. Then you have social media and I know the girl, she was doing it in some castle in Germany and she was doing social media for them and she was just living there for 1 month, enjoying her life like a princess. That's so much fun. I cannot wait to do the same.
My gosh, these opportunities exist and it's really, really amazing to hear, like you're saying, how easy it is.
It is actually. I applied like, I think 2 weeks before and that's it. I got the job for 1 month and like free accommodation, sometimes free food. Like the owner of the last hostel, he was asking us if we want to go to mountains to hike. And there were so many new activities. It was so nice.
For somebody who's listening to this and who sees your account and sees a lifestyle of traveling, backpacking, and going to hostels and volunteering and like really immersing yourself in the travel culture and different places, what would you say to somebody who might not necessarily have any idea of how to begin? What would your advice be to somebody who wants to be doing what you're doing?
The main problem I had, it was like the social anxiety.
Yeah.
So I would like remind myself every day that no one cares about you. No one. Absolutely. And they don't know about you as well. And it's so nice because that no one cares, so you can do whatever you want and travel alone. And it's not lonely because there are a lot of people everywhere, every single day, and you can talk to them. and it's so easy. And second one, just like it's hard to start, but then you cannot stop. It's the same with tattoos, I think. So when you get the first tattoo, before you're like terrified, and then you cannot stop. That's it. Your whole body is gonna be covered in tattoos. That's what I think about traveling. And also you can try to find some like person that you know, so you can travel with that person, and you'll understand how to travel with like people that you don't know, and it's nice because it's gonna happen with you in hostels and everywhere, so you'll like learn how to work together. I don't know, it's actually so easy to travel, especially if you're somewhere like in Europe around, and you can go to Balkans, and Balkans is the best place to travel. Perfect, cheap and fun, and people are nice and they speak English, so I recommend Balkans.
What has been your favorite place that you've traveled?
Romania. Surprisingly, yes, because I didn't expect anything. And then I arrived there, and they call it small Paris, and it looks so nice and so cute, and there's so many random stuff like Michael Jackson grave. Then here is something from Italy, here is something from France. It's so random, but it's so fun. And people are nice. So yes, I would go there again for sure. I think it's nice in Turkey, like in Istanbul especially, because it's completely different cultures, and there are so many like immigrants, and they're really like, for example, if you stay in the hostel, you're gonna meet a lot of immigrants. They're so nice. Like you have something in common, for example, like as an immigrant for me. But in general, it's so cool and so fun, and so many different people from different continents, places. I don't know. United States were really different, so that's why I enjoyed it, of course, because it was like, oh my god, I'm in the movie. I cannot believe it.
Where did you
Of course.
go?
We went from Los Angeles to Canada by car.
Oh, that's sick.
And it used to be so cheap. It used to be so much cheaper than now. It's so sad. Now it's unaffordable. Actually, maybe Montenegro during winter, because I never liked nature that much, like city girl. But then I arrived there and it was so nice. No people, and you can eat fruits from the trees, and it was so nice. And you can hitchhike easily. Maybe this was my favorite, the most unique experiences. But I cannot wait to go to Japan.
Oh my gosh. When are you going to Japan?
In November.
And you have it, like, do you have the cities that you're gonna go to already?
No, I don't have yet. But I want to volunteer. So of course I'm gonna go to Tokyo for sure, and I'm gonna just volunteer there for a month, and then I'll see.
Yeah,
But
that's amazing. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. I want to ask, when you're traveling, so you just mentioned about hitchhiking, how do you keep yourself safe traveling as a woman alone?
things got nothing ever happened to me, but sometimes some stuff happening to people around me, and I can see it. So I don't know. First, you just have to trust yourself, and if something tells you don't go there, don't talk to this person, and you feel like awkward or uncomfortable with the situation, just don't do it. That's it. Like, your life is gonna be much better if you don't. And when I was hitchhiking, the last time I was hitchhiking from Croatia to Bosnia, people were so like weird, but still you can feel this like something inside of yourself that like, do you want to go to this car or you don't want to go to this car? And also judge book by its cover. 100%. Like how you see the eyes of the person, you know that this person is not nice. Judge it. Yes, he's not nice. If he looks weird, he's weird. For sure. And I'm trying to be somewhere around women. I feel more confident when there are at least one woman. I feel like I'm protected. And also I'm sharing some details with my friends. When I go to, for example, couchsurfing, I always send like the person, his phone number, address, and everything, and they always have my location. I'm not like that safe, to be honest, but it always works for me. I don't know how, thank you, but still you just have to, yes, trust yourself. That's
Yeah.
it.
How do you feel like you've kind of cultivated this relationship with your intuition as you've been traveling? Because essentially that's what it is that you're doing. You're like checking in with your intuition, with yourself when
Yeah, definitely.
you're in these environments.
Well, I think it's therapy as well.
Yeah,
So you
100%.
have to be prepared. Yes. I think because I know myself, I know my feelings, I understand people better, much better. That's all I can say. You just need to understand yourself, then you can travel to understand like how to behave in certain situations.
How do you cultivate that relationship with yourself, to know yourself? I feel like that is such a blessing. And that's something that I immediately saw from you when I was reading your words. And it truly is a gift to know yourself in that way and to trust yourself enough to be able to go and travel and be alone and say, you know what? I've got this. I don't know what the fuck is going to happen, but I can handle it.
Maybe it's somehow connected with me growing up. For example, my first trip was to New York alone and I didn't speak English. And my dad, when I was 16, he was just like, go to New York, it's your birthday gift. It was like cheaper than to buy an iPhone. So for him, it was like win-win. And for me, it was disaster because I didn't eat, because I
No.
didn't speak English at all. I was terrified to come to
No.
other people to ask for something. But that's what like taught me that it's actually okay. You will survive in any circumstances. When I went to Paris, that's my second solo trip, I lost two of my flights because I arrived to my first flight and like something happened to my documents, so they said that I did check-in wrong. And then I went to another airport 24 hours after and I didn't have money to like eat, to stay at some hostel, blah blah blah. So I went to another airport and I overslept my flights inside the airport. And after I realized that I can even like work with this situation, everything else is okay. Like, it's fine. And also when you solo travel, and when you travel with backpack, you understand how weak you are at the same time, but also how strong you are, that you can do it. You can, like, carry 15 kilograms for, like, 20 kilometers, and you will not die. It will be painful, but it's okay. Really hard situations, they make you stronger and stronger every day. You understand that you can do much better and much more stuff. So yes, that's how. You just need to face something hard.
Yeah, yeah, it's literally just escaping the comfort zone.
And like this couch surfing, it just changed my life when I realized I can do it because you can travel much more. You see much more stuff. For example, I went to Pisa in Italy, and it's like a city where everyone goes just to see this tower, and that's it. They're
Yeah.
like done, checked. And it's so sad because I arrived there and I stayed with couch surfing for one night, of course, because I was like one out of others. I wanted to just take picture and go. And but he was so nice, an Italian man. He lives there for like 30 years already. And I don't know, he was making some dinners. He was taking me somewhere to his friends. I went to some immigrant meeting there. I went to some like party. And it was so cool. I stayed there for 3 nights just because I met some random man and I went to his place. But of course, I checked his references and everything, and they were really good. And he changed my whole perspective of Italy. Before, I was like, food is bad, people are not fun, and country is not interesting. And now I went there one more time, and everything is so good. People are amazing, food is great, country beautiful. Everything is good. So yes, so if you meet new people, so couch surfing, I love it. And I hosted a lot of people in Belgrade as well from couch surfing, and they were so nice. And you can show them your city, and they come to your apartment. They're like, "Oh my god, that's so cool!" And you're like, "Yes, this is my place. I live here." So yes, it's fun. I recommend.
I've heard of couch surfing, but I've never myself done it. I think genuinely because I was scared and because I wasn't necessarily sure if I would feel safe in the situation. And so hearing your experience, I guess I just didn't necessarily think of it in that way.
You can try to stay with some women. Mostly when we host someone, those girls, we're like their first couchsurfing experience. And it's so fun for us because we're like, oh my god, we're opening new world for this girl. And secondly, it's so safe for the girl because she can see us and we're like literally here. And that's it. We're just fun, chill girls living their best hippie life. So you just have to find a girl.
Yeah, honestly.
And there was a woman, she agreed on hosting me somewhere in the middle of nowhere in Luxembourg. And I was like, yeah, sure. But unfortunately, I'm not American. So for me, it was pretty hard to understand AM and PM difference. Hey, my bus just left without me. So
Maybe you'll go back and see her.
I want to. I really want to. I texted her and she was really polite in that. She was like, oh, sure, I understand. You're just stupid. Happens. So yes.
Polina, you are making my brain like I just am so excited now talking about traveling and about your travels. I'm like, okay, so where am I going next?
Are you from New York?
Yeah.
Do you travel?
Yes, I love to travel. Last year went to places in the United States. The year before that I lived in Florence. I was working
Wow,
and then I would travel to Interlaken.
beautiful.
It was amazing. It was incredible.
That's nice. Do you find that it's easier for you to talk to people who sometimes immigrate somewhere than to people who stay at one place the whole time?
Yeah, I think that it absolutely depends, of course, on the person. But I find that people who do travel and have that inside of them, they live life with a more open mind and open heart. They're, I would say, even more willing to kind of spark up that conversation with you or invite you over to have dinner or invite you to a party if that's the case, you know? Like they are more willing to kind of be a people person and to
Mm-hmm.
open up themselves. Whereas I've found growing up on Long Island, it's just off of New York City. It's incredible. It's a beautiful place. I'm very very grateful to have been raised here, and I often find myself meeting a lot of people who never want to leave Long Island specifically,
Mm-hmm.
who never think about getting a passport and seeing outside of the United States, and that's just their reality. That's their prerogative. That's how they want to live their life, and that's amazing for you, but I could never in a million years think of not exploring what else is out there and who else
Yeah.
is out there, because it's like those are the connections and the people that you're meeting that bring so much more into your life than you will ever receive in your hometown or in a classroom. What do you find with people that you meet while you're traveling?
Oh, my favorite type of people. All people from the same country where I'm traveling to, and it's so nice. They're showing you so many stuff, and they're so nice, and you can find them on couchsurfing as well, actually.
Hmm.
And with travelers, you can then like they invite you to their place, you invite them to your place, and if you're matching, that's it. You can be friends forever because they're travelers as well. So you can meet in different cities, different countries, and it's so nice.
Yeah. Traveling and the people that you meet while you're traveling, there's nothing that compares to that.
Yes, definitely. Especially with immigration. After I immigrated, I met so many people. And they're so nice. And they're all from different countries, different stories. And it's much better for me because I was growing up in the city and all of my friends, they were from the same neighborhood. And like their life was quite the same. They're really nice, interesting people, fun. But still, you know everything every day. What did they do? How are their parents and blah blah. But when you immigrate and you meet people from completely different cultures and completely different stories, they're completely different age, and it's so interesting, so much more like a movie, and you feel like you're a character of some movie.
Hmm.
I love it.
I love that. I really love that. As an immigrant, like how do you feel that has kind of molded your outlook, either on the world or just while you travel?
Firstly, I never lived for a long time like this in some other countries, but people who never immigrated and they never felt like they're not at home, they do not understand some struggles. For example, when I'm hanging out in a group of Serbian people, they can start to speak Serbian. And I understand, I mean, they're in their own country. I understand. I would love to speak Serbian. But at the same time, sometimes they can forget that I'm there as well. So that's the difference already. You start to think more about the person who speaks different language and you care about other people more. That English is more than enough. To survive, definitely. So you can travel to any country with just knowing English. That is good.
I love this conversation and the inspiration that you've instilled in me just chatting about your travels. Thank you
Thank you.
so much. If you could give one piece of advice to somebody who's thinking about going and traveling solo for the first time, what would that be?
Go. Don't think. People love to plan, and people plan too much. Don't plan that much. It's okay. You just can buy a ticket. If you want, you can book some hostel. I don't know. It's not necessary. And you just go there and explore. And you just don't take that much stuff with you. One backpack is more than enough. Small, especially for one city. And explore and try. Nothing bad gonna happen. 99%.
You're going to be okay. You're going to
Yes.
be okay.
Thank you. Yes, exactly. This one, much better.
Well, thank you so much for being on today and for taking your time to chat with me. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting.